The next stitch I'm going to talk about is called the Kitchener stitch, or otherwise known as grafting. In this we join open stitches to form a continuous piece of knitting. For example, this could be the shoulder of a sweater, and this could be the other shoulder of a sweater, and now we need to join them and it forms a smooth continuous seam. Notice that on the top one here, this thread, the last stitch was done on this side, and on this one the stitch was done on this side, exactly the same. When they come off the knitting machine, for example, they would have come off on the right hand side here and on the right hand side over here, both the same side. Now there is the pattern. We have the right sides facing us, double-ended needles, and we have a pattern of knit, purl, purl, knit, as this says here. It also says slip up there, right at the top. So pattern is you knit this stitch and slip it off, purl the next stitch and leave it on. Then you come up to this one, you purl the stitch, take it off, and then knit the next stitch and leave it on. And then you continue on down here, up here, all the way across until you finish. Now, when you're starting off, there is one slight difference. You don't do the right hand side part because you're not going to slip anything off. So we skip the knit and do a purl on that. We skip the purl up here and do a knit on that. Now we're ready to go back and start the pattern of knit, purl, purl, knit up on the top there. Now I'm going to show you an example of this actually being done. So now I'm ready to go. I take this stitch from the top part here and put it underneath. Now knit, purl, purl, knit, but I'm going to skip the knit here and do a purl, and of course the thread is attached to my needle here, so I do a purl and I leave it on, put it through, and then here I do a knit, which of course goes this way, and I don't pull anything off. Okay, so now I'm started. I'm going to push it closer to the edge here. There. Now I'm going to do a knit on this one, knit and take it off, and then a purl on this one. In all cases the thread goes underneath the needles. Then I'm going to do a purl which goes this way, slip it off, and then at the same time I can do a knit on this one, and I don't pull that one off. I make sure that this goes underneath, of course. Whoops, got caught there. There we go. No, there we go. And pull it a little tight, and then knit over here, pull it off, and purl, leave it on, make sure that everything goes underneath, and then purl, remove it, and knit this one. As you can tell, I'm not very good at this, and it has to go underneath, of course, and pull it a little tight, not too much. You can see that it's starting to form a little bit of a pattern there. It's very tricky to get the right tension, and I'm not too good at it. So I'm going to knit, take it off, and purl, put it through underneath the needles. Then I'm going to purl, take it off, and do a knit with the thread going underneath, of course. Rather than subject you to my fumbling attempts to do this stitch, I've taken it offline and done a few on my own. It was a little awkward to do it with the video camera running. As you can see, it was pretty awful at the beginning there. The tension wasn't right. You've got to keep these two needles fairly close together when you're doing the stitching, and I wasn't able to do that. But now, after I did it offline, you can see that it's a lot better. Not perfect, but for someone as clumsy as I am, that's not too bad. Now, you just continue all the way across to the end, doing this knit, purl, purl, knit, until you have one stitch on each needle, and these would be the two end stitches here, this one and this one. To get those off, you just do the knit here. There's nothing, obviously, there's no left, and take it off. Slip it, knit and slip. There's no stitches left, so you can't do a purl. And then on this top one, you do the purl and slip it off, and you're all finished. Just tie in the end and you're all set. The other thing is, I allowed about 4 lengths of yarn on for the tail to do the finishing. Four lengths of the width here should be plenty to finish it off and have a little bit extra left over to tuck in. And here are the final results. This part, when I first started, a little bit too loose. This looks pretty good across here, and then I got a little bit too tight. So it shows that you just need practice to get consistency. If it all looks like this, then it's perfect, and you won't notice. Now when I turn it over, you notice that that looks quite nice, but this is kind of lumping up because it's too tight. So you can tell when it's too tight. It's too tight there, it's too tight in here, and it's just about right here, but then too loose on the end again.